Hi everyone, it's Lou Manfedini, Ace's home expert. Do you have any idea what that is? Well, some people call it a rivet gun. That's what I call it. Some people call it a riveter. But rivets, you probably see them all over the place, but you're not quite sure what they do or what they are. Remember Rosie the Riveter? That was a whole thing when you saw these huge steel structures that they would use these hot metal rivets that they'd pound with a hammer and a bushing to make it hold these buildings together. Well, this is sort of a handheld, smaller version of that. Now, a rivet gun like this one here, you'll see that there's different tips. That's based on the size of the rivets. This particular one has 1/8 inch, 5/32, and 3/16, different sizes. And it actually comes with a little wrench right here. So these tips, you actually unscrew to change depending on which size rivet you want. So you would just take this all the way off, and there's a little spring in there, so you want to be careful when you would take one of these, depending on the size of the rivet you were going to use, and then you would just screw this back on carefully, which is easy for me to say. This is really good camera work right here as I'm trying to tighten this for you. And you put this fitting right back on. You want to make sure that it's nice and tight. Now, when you're using any kind of rivets, depending on the size, you typically are drilling a hole to allow the rivet to go through. Now this is the rivet right here. And so this shorter piece is what's actually going to go through the hole that you're trying to finish up. This is what's going to go inside the gun. Now this is just a piece of metal. It's a piece of corner bead that would be used in drywall. I just want to illustrate how you would use this. So you take the appropriate rivet, you would stick it inside the hole right here inside the gun all the way in, and it's going to hold it in place for you. Then I'm going to find that hole that fits inside this rivet, and I'm going to push that through just like that. See that? Now when you're holding this, you start cranking this with pressure on the rivet. You see how that's starting to squish a little bit right here? And it's pulling it right in here, right by my finger here where the rivet is. And I'm pulling it back again, and it's compacting. When it gets to the point where it's going to hold, you keep pulling the handle until it breaks that pin. Then you release the pin. That's what I brought off. There's the rivet. See the finish right there, the rivet? That finished side, nice and smooth. That's the side that you would see. So this would always be the finished side that you're looking for. And then back here is the squished in part that's holding the rivet in place. Now there's a bunch of different ones you can find. This is an Ace branded one right here, very similar to this Stanley unit that I just did. And then you can find assortments like this, different kinds of rivets with all different sizes. If you're going to use stuff outside, you want to make sure that they're stainless steel. In this particular one, they're both steel and aluminum. So if you're doing anything like trying to fix some fascia on your aluminum fascia on your home, or some soffits, maybe even some siding where you wanted to bring it together, an aluminum rivet would be a great way to kind of anchor those things together, have a nice flush finish, and then not have to worry about catching on anything, and you probably wouldn't even see that you made the repair. A rivet gun is a specialty tool, but for the projects you need it for, it's absolutely awesome. If you have other tools that you'd like us to talk about, just leave us a comment below. And remember, Ace is the helpful place.